For centuries, Christians have celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ, often observing the holiday on December 25th. But have you ever wondered if this date aligns with biblical history? While the Bible does not specify the exact day Jesus was born, there are intriguing clues that suggest he might have been born during the Feast of Tabernacles, a Jewish festival rich with symbolism of God's presence, provision, and joy. In this exploration, we'll dive into the biblical narrative, examine historical timing, and uncover how the Feast of Tabernacles beautifully aligns with the events surrounding Jesus' birth. Could his arrival during this sacred feast be more than just speculation? Join us as we unravel this fascinating possibility and see how it deepens the meaning of Emmanuel, God with us. 1. Biblical symbolism and prophecy. The Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, commemorates God dwelling with his people during their wilderness journey and celebrates his provision. 1. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. John chapter 1:14 KJV. The word dwelt in Greek is skanu, meaning to tabernacle or to pitch a tent. 1. This imagery aligns with the Feast of Tabernacles, symbolizing God coming to dwell with humanity through Jesus Christ. 2. Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is, God with us. Matthew chapter 1:23 KJV. The theme of God dwelling with his people directly connects to the Feast of Tabernacles. 2. Timing of John the Baptist's conception. The Gospel of Luke provides clues to the timing of Jesus' birth based on the conception of John the Baptist. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, of the course of Abia. Luke 1:5 KJV. According to 1 Chronicles 24:10, the Abijah division served during the 8th course, likely in late May or early June. And it came to pass that, as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. And after those days his wife Elizabeth conceived. Luke 1:23-24 KJV. And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age. And this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren. Luke 1:36 KJV. Adding 9 months for Mary's pregnancy places Jesus' birth in late September or early October, aligning with the Feast of Tabernacles. 3. Shepherds in the fields. The shepherds in the fields provide another clue. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. Luke 2:8 KJV. 1. Shepherds were more likely to be in the fields during the milder autumn months, not in the cold winter. 1. This supports the idea that Jesus' birth occurred during the Feast of Tabernacles, not December. 4. The census and pilgrimage. Mary and Joseph traveled to Bethlehem for a Roman census, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. Luke 2:3 KJV. 1. A census might coincide with the Feast of Tabernacles, a time when many Jews were already traveling to Jerusalem and nearby areas for the pilgrimage feast. 1. This would explain why there was no room at the inn due to the large crowds. 5. The symbolism of light. The Feast of Tabernacles included the ritual of lighting giant candelabras in the temple, symbolizing God's presence and light. Jesus being born during this feast ties directly to his identity as the light of the world. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. John 8:12 KJV. 6. Messianic joy and prophecy. The Feast of Tabernacles is associated with joy and the coming of the Messiah. And it shall come to pass, that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Zechariah 14:16 KJV. 2. Jesus being born during the Feast of Tabernacles would foreshadow his role as the ultimate fulfillment of God dwelling with his people. Conclusion. While the Bible does not explicitly state Jesus' birth date, the case for him being born during the Feast of Tabernacles is both symbolic and plausible. It beautifully connects God's provision in the wilderness, the prophetic significance of dwelling among us, and the joy of his light and salvation. Whether in the fields with shepherds or in the hearts of believers, the Feast of Tabernacles offers a meaningful context for the arrival of Emmanuel, God with us.